Why do science shows always tell you not to try this at home? It is the ultimate forbidden fruit, isn't it? That bright red warning label flashing across the screen in bold, authoritative letters acts less like a deterrent and more like a challenge. It is a siren song to the curious, a whispered invitation to the basement tinkerer, and a dare to anyone who has ever looked at a bottle of soda and a roll of mints and thought, I bet I can make that go higher. We live in a world governed by rules, by the laws of physics, and by the strict guidelines of health and safety. But deep down, nestled within the folds of our DNA, lies an ancient, restless spark. It is the same spark that led our ancestors to touch fire for the first time, to taste the unknown berry, and to wonder what lay beyond the next horizon. We are, by our very nature, an experimental species, and yet modern life asks us to be spectators. We are told to watch the experts in their lab coats, behind their reinforced plexiglass shields, while we sit safely on our couches, clutching our remote controls. But for some of us, watching isn't enough. For some of us, the screen is a barrier to the truth. We don't just want to see the reaction. We want to feel the heat, smell the ozone, and witness the chaotic beauty of a hypothesis colliding with reality. The "Don't try this at home" warning is the greatest marketing campaign for curiosity ever devised. It creates a vacuum that our imagination is desperate to fill. When a scientist on television says those words, they aren't just protecting you from a potential lawsuit. They are acknowledging the dangerous allure of discovery. They know that the moment they tell you that mixing those two specific household cleaners will create a cloud of toxic gas, a small, irrational part of your brain begins to wonder exactly what shade of green that gas might be. This is the origin story of every great inventor, every eccentric engineer, and every person who has ever had to explain to their parents why the garage ceiling is now a vibrant shade of magenta. It starts with a simple what if? What if I used a leaf blower to power this skateboard? What if I wired these 9-volt batteries in a series until they hummed with the power of a small sun? What if I ignored the manual and followed my instincts instead? This is the heart of the mad scientist spirit. Not a desire for destruction, but a relentless, unquenchable thirst for first-hand knowledge. Think back to your childhood. Do you remember the first time you realized that the world was a giant laboratory? Maybe it was the classic baking soda and vinegar volcano, a rite of passage for every aspiring chemist. There was that moment of pure, unadulterated tension as you poured the liquid into the papier-mâché mountain. And then, the eruption. It wasn't just bubbles and fizz. It was a revelation. You did that. You manipulated the elements to create a reaction. But for the true enthusiast, the kitchen-grade volcano was only the beginning. Soon, you were looking for more. You were wondering if dry ice could make the fog thicker. You were testing the limits of static electricity on the living room carpet until your hair stood on end like a frantic dandelion. These moments of trying it at home are rarely perfect. In fact, they are almost always messy. They involve singed eyebrows, stained carpets, blown fuses, and the occasional frantic search for a fire extinguisher. But there is a profound honesty in that mess. Science is not a clean, linear path from question to answer. It is a zigzag of errors, a comedy of blunders, and a series of oops moments that eventually lead to eureka. When you try it at home, you are participating in the rawest form of the scientific method. You are failing, and in that failure, you are learning more than any textbook could ever teach you. You are discovering the weight of gravity, the volatility of chemicals, and the surprising resilience of the human spirit. And sometimes, the surprising fragility of your kitchen table. This brings us to a specific kind of badge of honor, a symbol for those who chose to ignore the warnings and embrace the chaos. Imagine a figure, a simple stickman. He isn't in a lab. He isn't wearing a heat-resistant suit. He is simply a man who followed his curiosity a little too far. He is running, his legs a blur of motion, and he is quite literally on fire. Above him, in bold, unapologetic letters, are the words, "I tried it at home." This is more than just a design on a t-shirt. It is a manifesto. The "I tried it at home" shirt is the official uniform of the restless mind. It is for the person who sees a wet paint sign and has to tap it just to be sure. It is for the tinkerer who took apart the toaster at age 6 and couldn't quite figure out where that last screw went. It is for the mad scientists who know that the best lessons are the ones that leave a little bit of a scar or a very funny story to tell at parties. Wearing this shirt is an act of solidarity. It says to the world, yes, I am the reason we can't have nice things, but I am also the reason we know how things work. It celebrates the glorious, hilarious, and sometimes terrifying accidents that happen when passion outpaces preparation. It honors the spirit of the backyard engineer who built a rocket out of PVC pipe and sugar, and the kitchen chemist who accidentally created a new form of non-Newtonian fluid that refused to leave the blender. We live in an age where everything is simulated, digital, and sanitized. We experience the world through high-definition displays and curated feeds. But the "I tried it at home" spirit is the antidote to that passivity. It is about getting your hands dirty. It is about the thrill of the click when a circuit finally completes, or the whoosh when a homemade engine breathes life. It is an acknowledgement that while the professionals have their place, the real soul of discovery lives in the garages, the basements, and the backyards of the world. So why do they tell you not to try this at home? Perhaps it's because they know that once you start, you won't want to stop. They know that once you realize the world is your playground, you become a little bit harder to control. You become someone who asks why and how instead of just how much. You become a seeker of truth, even if that truth comes with a side of singed hair and a very confused neighbor. This shirt is for you, the explorer of the everyday. It is for the parents who watch their kids mix potions in the bathtub with a mix of pride and mild concern. It is for the adults who never lost that sense of wonder and still find themselves watching YouTube tutorials on how to build a forge out of a coffee can. It is a tribute to the beautiful, burning curiosity that makes us human. The image of the running, flaming stickman is a reminder that even when things go spectacularly wrong, we are still moving forward. We are still running. We are still learning. We might be on fire, but we are also enlightened. We are the ones who pushed the button. We are the ones who mixed the chemicals. We are the ones who dared to ignore the warning. In the end, science isn't just about the papers published in prestigious journals or the medals handed out in Stockholm. It is about the fundamental human drive to interact with the universe. It is about the "I tried it at home" moments that shape who we are. So, wear your singed eyebrows with pride. Display your stained lab coats, or in this case, your "I tried it at home" t-shirt like a suit of armor. Because in a world that tells you to stay safe and stay back, there is nothing more revolutionary than stepping forward and saying, "I wonder what happens if I do this." Stay curious, stay messy, and most importantly, keep trying it at home. The world needs your sparks, your explosions, and your hilarious failures. After all, the only difference between screwing around and science is writing it down and having the perfect shirt to wear while you do it.